they stay there, and they say yeah.
Welcome back to another Madden season for Synergy Football Radio. I'm Ben Yohanan, your host, and here we got a couple special guests. We got Simply. What's up, Simply?
What's going on? What's going on?
And then we have Synergy Football Recruiter. What's up, bro?
Not much going on, Ben.
Listen, guys, this is a new Madden. Things have changed. Yeah, they always make it a little bit the same, but there's different things in Madden every season. But before we talk about this Madden, let's talk a little bit about Synergy Football. In case those people don't know about Synergy Football, Recruiter, let me know how long you guys been doing this.
Oh, we're getting excited to start off our 15th season here, beginning of Madden 18. Can't wait to get these sticks back in our hands.
Damn, 15 seasons. How do you guys go that long? I mean, people usually do 1 or 2, 3 years, but I mean, this is 15.
No, it's a great group of guys, man. Got good recruiter, bringing in good cast of coaches.
Yes, sir. We always try to keep the league fun, man. Always try to keep it fun.
Listen, I've only been in it for a short while, but, you guys got great competition. You guys got great vision, not only just in Madden, but outside in YouTube and things like that. So Synergy Football with Daddy Leagues and everything hooked up. I mean, social media is blowing up with Synergy Football League. I mean, you guys got a list of people still trying to get in, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's always people willing to get in, waiting lists. That makes the vetting process a little bit easier. You can get to talk to them, feel them out, see what coaches actually will make sense in our league.
Okay. You guys also did the league crawler, right, or something like that? Let me know about that.
Yeah, we've been league crawler of the month. I think it was last September, beginning of Madden 17. Had a showcase of myself and Simply on there, talking about how we do things.
Now, we do have a bunch of people coming back from last Madden, some great competitors, even from the Madden before that. I mean, let's talk about who's back and what users you guys are really looking forward to, some great matchups.
Yeah, definitely. We got a crew back that just quite frankly, very competitive. I mean, we'll start in the AFC East. I mean, Blitzy coming back, was definitely a booster to that that division. And then, you have just so many great matchups there. His rival is the Jets. I mean, they've been going head-to-head for quite a while. It's always a great competitive matchup. Definitely one I'm looking forward to in that division.
Okay, damn, nice. Who else? Who you got, Recruiter?
Well, yeah, Blizzy, he's definitely the front runner in the AFC East. He's got some history also with the Patriots head coach. So they'll go back and forth. Blizzy's definitely known around Synergy.
Now,
he also won the league crawler tournament a couple tournaments ago as well. So
wait, he won the league crawler tournament?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The second one.
Now, question is, has he won? How many Super Bowls has he won in Synergy Football League?
I would say multiple. I can't tell you off the top of my head, but he's definitely always in the running, and he's definitely won a few.
Okay. Now, let's take it back one more time to the last Madden. I mean, Simply, you've been in 3 Super Bowls last Madden. I mean, what was the best matchup for you when it came to last Madden as in users? You know that it was going to be a great game, and you didn't know who was going to come out top because it was basically, head-to-head. They're pretty, they're pretty matched well when it comes to skills.
Definitely the Browns. The Browns definitely came out swinging. Nobody really knew who he was. He came in, took the league by storm. He went undefeated, and then he had a unexpected L in Week 16. And so he came into the playoffs, red hot, but he was pissed off with that one, L on his record. And it's like all the way down to the fourth quarter, we was neck and neck, and he just pulled away. He got a big fumble, scoop score. Rest was history. He champ.
Boom. Just like that, one play can make you a Super Bowl champ. Trust me, I know. Last Madden, I didn't go so well. I'm 0-5 in the Super Bowls. I don't want to talk about it, though, so don't bring it up. Basically, well, you know what? One matchup that we didn't get to see was the Texans-Browns. Because the Texans was another one that just came out of nowhere. Didn't lose many games, and it was towards the last end of the season where everyone was turning in their games for the new Madden. But that's a matchup I would like to see: the Browns user versus the Texans users of last year. What do you guys?
Yeah, I
think
agree
about
with
that?
you. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. You know, the Texans was looking forward to that matchup. You know, unfortunately, turned his game in a little early. You know, but he's definitely coming back with a vengeance this season, and he's going to be ready to rock and roll.
Now, these guys got some new teams. We're going to go ahead and go through the breakdowns of each division. Users have new teams. Some users keep the same team because they usually, stay the same team throughout the many, many Madden years. But we'll see who's changed. We'll see who's going to rock these divisions. I mean, and then at the end, I'm going to do something that you guys probably don't want to do. Is I'm going to make you guys pick a Super Bowl contender from the East and pick a Super Bowl contender from the AFC and the NFC. And then in the mid-season, when we do our next show, we'll see where we stand from there and see if you guys, got a nice guess or, completely wrong. So let's start with the East. I mean, we talked a little bit about it, but what else is there to see?
In the AFC, there's definitely some good matchups. In the AFC West, I look forward to seeing the Broncos and YG going against the Chargers, who won the Super Bowl last year in our last season against Simply. If YG comes to play every week, he can beat anybody in the league, and he was Synergy's first ever Super Bowl champion, so he's been here for all 15 of these seasons. He's definitely someone to keep an eye on. And in the AFC South, what's that?
That's the Chargers user?
Yeah, the Chargers user is the one who won the Super Bowl in our last Madden.
Nice. Okay, but who's going to? Is it the Broncos, Raiders, Chiefs? Who's going to dethrone them, if at all?
If anybody in that division, it's definitely going to be YG.
Now, the one person I would look out for is a serious sleeper in that division is the Raiders. You know, he usually comes on with a pretty strong running game. You know, and quite frankly, I think with this Madden, with the new mechanics, with the run, I think it definitely suits his playing style.
You're not lying. I mean, they have a pretty good offensive line already. The defense is stacked. I mean, if Derek Carr can stay healthy and these guys can stay healthy, because, with this new Madden, we're not sure, how they're going to do with the injuries or whatnot. But if it is what they say, I mean, an injury can cause a whole season to just go down the drain. I mean, some users can, overcome that. But with the new quarterback mechanics and new running mechanics, if you become one-dimensional, I think it's going to be hard, especially with a young quarterback or quarterback as a backup. I mean, it's going to be tough this Madden. All right, let's move on to the next division. What you got on the next division?
AFC North, that's definitely a tough division. They're always, that's probably a black and blue division. They're always back and forth.
Definitely. I mean, throughout the entire division, you got people who's been with us forever, and they've always been very competitive. So it's definitely going to be a very, very good division. But, I'm going to come out with the Steelers in this one. I think D always comes strong, again, with the great defense. He knows how to control the clock pretty well and knows how to put his opponents away.
I have to agree. As a Falcons user last year, last Madden, D. Smith was great as the Bucks. I mean, he comes out with a game plan, and it usually comes down to the wire when it came to me and him. And he got me the last game. Came down, drove it down, 2-minute drill. Like you said, control the clock, and kicked it for the win. Couldn't stop it. I mean, what do you think?
These four coaches are definitely all playoff caliber coaches, and someone's going to get disappointed in that division many times over.
I mean, you kind of hate to see that, but that's the nature of the beast with four top competitors. I would like to see what the Bengals do because, he came in red hot. No one knows who he is or where he came from, but, he built his team the way he wanted to, and he was in the playoffs. Unfortunately, he turned it in his Madden a little too early, but, I mean, he has John Ross. He has, the Bengals defense. And now with the different off-season trades and whatnot, I mean, the Steelers, come on. I mean, they get richer. They just got Hayden out of the Browns. And it's just like, what? They were already stacked. Now they're, are they going to be the team? Is that them?
Yep. The Browns are definitely young and have a lot of building to do. but everybody in that division was in the playoffs last year. And I believe the Browns and Ravens coach both made it to the NFC Championship last year, so I would definitely look out for this division. But Browns is in the rebuilding.
All right, so if the
And
okay, go ahead.
and quite frankly, the Browns is the perfect coach for rebuilding. He always likes to take young players and do a lot of trading, and he has a lot of ammunition to do that. So I definitely look forward to this this division playing out. Black and blue is the best way to describe it.
All right, now what about the Ravens? I mean, they have a really good defense. I mean, as Madden speaking, when it comes to pieces, does he have all the pieces yet, or do you see him like maybe in a year or two or Madden seasons to get into the playoffs?
Well, Caliber has always been a pass-heavy guy.
Okay.
So he definitely will do a little trading to continuously build his weapons around him. But I foresee him, like he said, continuously being a playoff team, continue to be competitive and do very well.
Okay.
Yeah, he took one of the worst teams last year and took him to the championship. So he's definitely someone to look out for.
Which team was that?
That's the Caliber, the Ravens coach. He took it was the Niners last year.
Oh man, the Niners had nothing last year.
Yeah, and he took them to the championship. He definitely was in the playoffs, if not the championship.
Nice.
We'll talk about the AFC South, where you're in it, which is going to be very tough for you to make the playoffs and get those Super Bowls. This realistically may be the toughest division in the league.
Okay, well, you guys got to tell me a little bit about it because I'm not used to these users. But if you guys tell me the truth, okay.
Simply, it talked about that coach who went undefeated and he lost two in the playoffs or the Super Bowl, and he's in your division as the Titans coach right now.
Okay.
And the Colts and the Jags also have some history as they were in the same division over in the NFC West last year, and I believe they both had a Super Bowl appearance. So you might be facing somebody in that division that's been in the Super Bowl previously in synergy.
All right, I just have one question. Is it too late to change teams? No, I'm just playing. No, good competition only makes you better. That's what I always say. But
you have a good team. The Texans is built though.
Listen, the Texans are a great team. I mean, I would only see maybe getting the offensive line, maybe a couple trades, or just off-season work when it comes to the O-line. But, D-line, maybe a couple DBs, and these Texans are ready to go. But at the same time, Jags are built to last this whole Madden season. I mean, you got all young defense, all young offensive line. Titans are all young as well. I mean, pretty much when it comes to teams that are stacked, this division is one of those divisions. When it comes to Madden teams, not users, but the actual team.
Definitely. You also, speaking of the Jags is one of the most respected coaches in Synergy. I mean, he's always top 3, when it comes to the run game. So you being the Texans, having a great defensive line, you definitely be put to the test, with Leonard Fournette, and you got a coach that know how to use them.
And that's the same with the Titans too. The Titans, they come in, they run the ball, and they play defense. You got a defense that can stop that run, you have a chance to win.
So it looks like I'm in for some close games.
Absolutely. The Colts, he can finesse you though. He likes to pass it a little bit more, but they're all solid.
Nice. I mean, if you don't win it with effort, or win Super Bowls with effort, or join leagues with competition, and you don't win anything, or you win it all without competition, it doesn't make it as sweeter. It's only sweeter when it comes to through competition. You actually have to earn it.
Definitely.
All right, guys. Thanks for your input on this one. Hopefully, I can tough it out and make a playoff appearance. But let's move on to the next one. What's the next one you want to talk about?
We can move on to the NFC East, which is Simply's division.
Okay.
And that is going to be also a tough division, as there's 3 users in there that have been in the Super Bowl, and all of them are playoff contenders year in and year out.
Okay.
Yeah, with this division, these are all coaches that I've known and respect. And Swizzy is one that always been in my division, and we always go head to head, and it's always a grinded out game. I'm really looking forward to the Redskins. Spicy. Spicy is probably one of our best coaches, in synergy. So I'm looking forward to playing him twice and just bringing a lot of competitiveness to the division.
Okay, so it looks like it's going to be another tough division. Now, we didn't mention anything about the Giants. What's up with the Giants team? I mean, they're Madden-wise, they're pretty set. I mean, they got DBs, they have linebackers, defensive line, O-line, they have Odell Beckham, they have Eli, and they have Webb, which is a nice build when it comes to a nice quarterback, speedy and can throw.
Yeah, no, he definitely has a team that's set up to win. He just got to come out and play. He's playing Swizzy, the Eagles head coach, who's been here for every season of Synergy, and he's made like 4 Super Bowls. Simply the Cowboys, he's won a few Super Bowls. He was in 3 Super Bowls last Madden, and then like Simply was saying, Spicy's one of the most respected coaches. We saw him make it back-to-back actually last year, one of our only back-to-back winning Super Bowls, and he likes to tear down the team and build it back up. So the Redskins are already pretty bare bones, but they got some nice pieces for him to build up and see what we can do with them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Redskins definitely coming to this Madden, looking one way, but by the time Spicy is done with them, they will look a different way.
Oh,
there's a lot of trading.
That's spicy. All right, what's the next on the agenda? What we got? What's the next division we want to talk about?
The next division, NFC West. That's Cheese division.
Okay, Cheese, what you looking at?
Well, it's going to be a tough division over here for sure. I mean, me and the Rams were in the same division last year, back and forth game. He probably got a couple more W's than I did, so I expect him to be tough competition. And then we have Official, the 49ers coach. That's his favorite team over there, so he plans to take them to the promised land. And I'm really questioning about this Seahawks coach because he came in late last year. He's a little wild card. I'm not sure what to expect from him. You might be able to tell us a bit more about him.
Well, it's interesting that you talk about the Seahawks. This is Fidel. Fidel is a great user. He's been around in some of my leagues for a while now. He's really good. When it comes to, he's going to be playoff ready. I mean, he took the Redskins team in the last Madden, almost got them a playoff spot, but it was taken by the Bucks. It came down to the last game of the season, and that's without a team that he was able to build as long as he could because he came so late. But coming with the Seahawks defense, and now that with the offseason trades of the Seahawks, because now they have a beast defensive line now. You have Sheldon Richardson, you have Cliff Averill, and you got Bennett. I mean, how do you stop them? You guys better build up some O-line. That's for damn sure.
And they have that Legion of Boom in the back. You definitely have to watch out for the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely.
When it comes to the teams that are ready to go, it would be Seahawks and Cardinals. Now, Recruiter, you have a little bit of work to do because, I mean, you have some pieces that are young and some pieces that are a little older. Speaking with your quarterback and your best wide receiver with Larry Fitzgerald. I mean, how do you see?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, how do you see that going about? I mean, are you gonna, we always compete, but is this like, how short is your window when it comes to the Super Bowl? What do you think?
I feel like if I don't make it to the playoffs this first year, having Fitzgerald and Palmer who are old and could retire at the end of the year, and I'm going to have to replace them. It's win now over here in Arizona, but we're going to have to build for the future, and hopefully we have some young pieces that we can replace them with. But we also have Patrick Peterson. He's getting up there, but he's one of the best in the league. They got a good defensive backfield. Hopefully we can make that work for us.
Okay, nice.
And then we got the Rams. The Rams have a tough defense and a young team as well over there.
See, that's the thing. When it comes to these teams, you have to come with a strategy, as in seeing what window you have first of all, and then seeing how long it's going to take you to rebuild. Some guys don't even rebuild. Some guys and some users follow the Patriot formula, where they have a certain window for some guys. Get sell high, buy low type of thing, where they get them sell high for big nice picks, at, you know, maybe they're 85 to 90 overall, get some nice picks, and then take those young players and now circulate the way the Patriots do in real life, where they get rid of the guys that are going to be asking for money or going to be old enough where it doesn't, you know, see them going into the future, and then putting these first round draft picks into work right away, and they seem to be competitive all year round versus, you know, going through a rebuild stage for some teams.
Yeah, I'm really hoping to see how this David Johnson does running the ball, you know. Then we got Carson Palmer, Fitzgerald. I feel like they can get me there, you know, the third downs. They've been in the league for a while.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the way it's turning out this Madden, I'm thinking it's going to be a little different play style when it comes to how people throw, especially with the target passing. I mean, with the target passing, I haven't been able to get that down, but if whoever can get that down, I mean, I think one of the things that's going to help really is in the red zone, where you have to put it exactly where you need to put it, and maybe a fade route or out route or something where they be able to score more. What do you guys think about that target passing?
Well, I definitely think it's something that will take quite a bit of time to master, but as you said, anybody who can master that will be very, very difficult to stop. You know, and the one thing that you have to remember with the target passing is you need time to pass the ball. You know, so in this division, you're talking about the Seahawks, you're talking about the Rams, and the Cardinals, who have very, very good front sevens. And the one thing about the Niners is that they have ridiculous cap room. You know, so they're going to be able to get all the players that they need to remain competitive. You know, so just overall, I just think that this division, you know, regarding the target passing, I don't think anybody's going to be able to master that, because they're going to have a mean pass rush coming at them.
That makes a lot of sense. All right, what's next on the? Is that all the divisions? Did we get them all?
No, we have a couple NFC. We have NFC North, NFC South, and we can start with the NFC North right here.
Okay.
You want to start thinking maybe?
Yeah. So with the NFC North, we're talking about a lot of people who didn't do that well in the last Madden. They would start out fast in their game, but then they would just, you know, interception here, fumble here, just simply bad breaks. You know, so I look for the Bears, which is Nick. I look for him to run away with this division.
Okay. I don't think the Vikings would agree with that, because I mean, you hear
I know Mac for a long. I know Mac for a long time, and you know he's one of those players that, like I said, he starts out very quick, you know, but he gets frustrated really quick too. And the one thing that Nick brings to the table, he's all about frustrating the other coach. He does that pretty well.
Okay, well, tell me about this Packers guy. I mean, I didn't see him in the last Madden because I came a little bit late. But tell me about this Packers guy. It seemed like he has some kind of reputation inside the league.
Yeah, he came on strong in the league. He definitely made the playoffs. He seems like a good coach. You know, he puts his head down, plays ball, doesn't complain about the referees or nothing. I see it being him and Nick going back and forth, and if, like Coach Simply was saying, if Coach Mack over there, the Vikings can quit throwing his clipboard on the ground and stay composed, he could be a force too. He definitely he like to throw the ball around.
Well, especially in this Madden, I've seen that you can't give up. I mean, I've been down 21-0 and still able to come back and win, you know, by a touchdown. I mean, this Madden, especially this Madden, with one juke, one fumble, and the pick returns. You know, have you guys noticed it's actually a lot better to return picks, because now the defensive backs and the safeties, even linebackers, have a lot more agility and a lot more juke and spin moves.
They definitely made this more realistic, and I think you're going to see a lot of the football IQ, the football minds come out in this Madden. Versus last Madden, you can typically just hold buttons and, you know, like lurk the field a little bit. This Madden, you're not going to be able to do that. So they definitely made it more realistic, and yeah, it's just looking forward to this division especially. Let's see if these people who, quite frankly, couldn't make the turn last Madden could do it this Madden.
Yeah, like the Lions coach, they just signed Stafford to record-breaking contract. I hope that pays off for him. Because he's a respected coach, but he just needs to plug away and build his team and he can get there.
That's true. I mean, he's a little older. Let's see what he does, because some users just don't like spending all that cap on older players. But Stafford is rated super high. I mean, 98 throw power. He has all in the 80s when it comes to accuracy. Now let's see if some people would roll with that and then try to build behind, or they just go strictly young. Another thing that I want to mention is that you were talking about the lurk. I mean, the Vikings do throw a lot of picks, but now it might be in his favor if someone tries to lurk, and then the interceptions last Madden that would affect him. Maybe he catches a couple breaks with bad timing, because I have seen in this Madden, if you have bad timing on your interceptions, those linebackers don't catch anything, even DBs.
Yeah, sure. Yep, you're absolutely correct. But the one thing about this Madden is you have to go with the identity. The identity of the Vikings is to ground and pound. With Dalvin Cook, you got Murray. So it's going to take a little bit of adjustment. With Coach Mack. But I think he's up to the challenge.
Yeah, they have a super young defense too, all signed for a while too, so they'll be able to stick together and gel for a while, I think.
Okay.
Definitely.
Nice. Good. Now let's move on to the next division. What we got?
We have the NFC South, which also could be potentially the toughest division in the league.
Yes, this division right here is a lot of trash talk.
Yes, sir.
Trash talk to coaches. So, you got a great rivalry and great and Murder, who they were going back and forth with the Panthers and the Saints last Madden, and every game was a show. So, and then you got Coach James, who's always competitive. He had a little trouble getting over the hump. So I definitely look at this as being a passing division. But definitely a competitive one.
Well, coming from the Falcons on this one, I mean, these are very competitive users, definitely. I mean, the Buccaneers, me and him were fighting for the Buccaneers at the last second. And all we did was fight just to get a chance to make sure that, what's his name, the Saints user, Murder, does not get to the Super Bowl. So I'm going to watch this division because it's going to be very competitive. And I'm going to see if it pays off for the Buccaneers to actually want and choose to be in this division for this one user, and see if he can actually overcome Saints, or if Murder, talks trash but backs it up and be able to take over this division like he did last Madden.
Yeah, I feel like every coach in this division is a Super Bowl caliber coach, man. And like Simply was saying, they're great, takes no more pride than beating the Saints and letting them talk trash back to him. And Coach James, he's totally a Super Bowl contender coach, but he just falls short a lot of time in the championship game. He needs to hold on to the ball, throws a lot of interceptions in clutch times, and it turns the tide for him. And do not sleep on the Bucs. He is not scared one bit of the Saints and all his Super Bowl titles.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that is true. He fought for those Buccaneers, and he says, I don't care how many championships you want or have won, how many divisions won. He said that he's got one goal, and that's to take over the division.
Yeah, I mean, and it's definitely going to be an exciting division. I mean, like I say, you got a ton of trash talkers. They generally like to back it up, so it's definitely going to be very entertaining. Like T.O. said, get your popcorn ready for this division.
This division is
one to watch.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be watching a lot of their streams just because they're great competitors and none of them like to lose. I mean, none whatsoever. If that's it for the divisions, you know what's the next question, right, guys? Pick me two users, one AFC, one NFC. Now, some people are going to be hurt. Some people are going to be like, I can't believe you didn't pick me. And some people are just going to be flat out, yeah, you're right. So tell me, what do you guys think? Let's start with Simply. Give me an NFC. Or both of y'all give me an NFC. Let's go Simply first, then Recruiter. Give me, out of the NFC, who is going to be the top? Who's going to be the first, or the first Super Bowl winner, or first NFC Conference Champion winner?
Who's going to represent the NFC East? Well, I'm never going to doubt myself.
Well, yeah, that's true. It's kind of hard when it comes to the NFC, but who's going to represent?
No, I'll tell you what, though. I really think that is going to be Coach James. I think, this really fit his style. He's been one of those people who's really been practicing that target passing, and he loves it. He loves the pass, and, he seems a little smarter. Like I said before, this is more realistic, this Madden, so the football IQ is really going to come out. He got coach in his name for a reason, so I think he's going to showcase this Madden.
Okay, and that's the Falcons team, correct?
Yes. Look for a lot of Julio.
I mean, you can't go wrong with a lot of Julio.
Yeah, so he's right with the Falcons are set up for Coach James, his game. But it's tough to pick anyone, man. We have about 12 different teams who've made it in the Super Bowl. There's about 12 more teams who are perennial playoff teams. But I might have to go with the Cowboys, man. He's always there. He's always in the running. Definitely knows how to run the ball, play that defense, and he's not scared of anybody. He's played with all the top coaches and beat them.
I know definitely somebody's gonna be like, "Oh man, you didn't pick me. I'm gonna show you." Definitely.
The winner that's gonna come out of the East or the South. I guarantee you that.
The East or the South?
Definitely.
Okay. East or the South for the championship. All
Yeah,
right, so we have Cowboys and
man.
Falcons to be your pick.
We're also talking season 1 too. The Cowboys are built already.
Correct. No, that was good observation. Yeah, we're just talking season 1. We'll do every season, and we'll pick out our champions to represent and see where it goes from there every season. But now I want you guys to pick me an AFC representative for the Super Bowl first year. Come on, guys, show me some love.
For me, man, this is pretty tough. I'm looking at 5 teams, between Blitz, YG, Young Wiz, which is, and obviously the Titans. But honestly, man, I gotta go with the Titans, man. The one thing that I realize about him playing him is, again, that IQ. It's pretty high. So he's all about ball control and making you do things on offense that you don't want to do. But I think it's going to come down to him and Blitz. But I'll go with the Titans first season.
Just for those who know, Blitz is on what team? So Titans and
The Bills.
And the Bills. Okay. First year, you think the Bills might get there first year?
Yeah, because the one thing that Blitz do, he plays tremendous defense. It looks like it's one way to you, and he's just baiting you. As soon as you throw the ball, it's getting picked off.
Boom.
So it's like he has the ability to just confuse you and, quite frankly, just ball control. Good teams know how to hold the ball, and then when you get the ball, forces you to do things you don't want to do. And both of those teams does that very well.
Okay, Recruiter?
Yeah, the AFC is going to be tough. I'm looking at these teams. I see about 6 teams that have been in the Super Bowl synergy history over just that AFC conference, so it's going to be tough. And I normally would go with Blizzy too, but after seeing what the Bills have done in the offseason and dismantled their team, and they're looking pretty bare. But he loves to build through the draft. I expect him to be very tough after season 1 and still be in contention in the playoffs, absolutely in season 1. But I might have to go with the AFC South contender myself and the Jags and Young Weeds. I can't wait to see that division.
Okay. Well, both of y'all can't be on my next radio because you didn't show me no love. You picked both Titans and Jags and skip right over me. No, I'm just playing. Okay, so we got Titans and Jags. And then on the other side, we have Cowboys and Falcons. Let's see what happens first year, but I'm definitely excited. I know you guys are excited to get this, 15 seasons on. 15 years is a long way of playing Madden. And, it only gets better and better.
I might have been able to pick the Texans a little bit, but that quarterback position, it's unsettled right now. You got a great defense, but you got to get that, the quarterback and the running game going, and then we'll see where we go with the Houston Texans in the future.
No worries. Yeah, these Texans are going to be ready. we're gonna show what we got and get better as we go. Now, when it comes to Synergy Football League, now which do you see? Who do you see that's an up and comer? As in, might just be in the playoffs that you guys did not expect. Anyone jump right out to you, especially with these new users that we have?
For me, it's the Lions.
Okay, why do you say that?
He was in the division last year with the Giants, and he's in every game except when he gets to the fourth quarter. So I think that with his cousin YG, who's a very, very good contender, year in, year out, in his ear a little bit, I think that he'll be able to make that turn this year and he'll get it done. Look for him to be in the playoffs.
What about you, Recruiter?
I'm gonna say look for the Raiders, young Tweezy on up and coming. He plugged along with the team last year. He stayed around, definitely respected coach. You heard Simply even talk about him possibly winning the division. He got a good team. I'm not sure he made the playoffs last year, but he was always there and he was always fighting tooth and nail. I have a lot of respect for him, and I could see him making noise over there.
Okay. The team that I see that looks like it's going to be up and coming, I'm going to put my money on the Chargers. I think he can throw a wrench in there. I mean, he was the Lions last Madden. He took 2 seasons, and it took 2 seasons for him to go straight to the Super Bowl. I mean, he didn't win that one out, but he just came out of nowhere, took his team, and, played competitive football. Some close games out there, but he was able to push through and be able to be in the Super Bowl. I mean, with the Chargers team, with having a nice young defense and a pretty good offense, and especially with Allen and now with Mike Williams, I mean, look for big things to come with this dude.
Definitely. They have some young receivers, young running back.
Now, also up and coming, I mean, the Bengals guy. The Bengals guy, he was short-lived when it came to the Super Bowl because he turned it in. Now he has something to prove that it wasn't just a fluke, or he would have actually won, because there was a lot of trash talking back and forth, like, oh, I would have been the one that won, and then the Bills Mafia is the one that's like, nah, you wouldn't have won at all. So first of all, we got to see if he's going to be there, and second, if he's going to throw that wrench like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. He likes to talk trash. I hope he can back it up.
I mean, with Synergy Football, this is so far I've seen the most competitive, because, I mean, all these users have all won Super Bowls, all playoff contending teams. And, I mean, I got 2 in my division. You guys got some big ballers in your division. Let's see what happens this season. I mean, it's going to be one tough season. And let's see if somebody surprises us, or if it's just one team dominates like they usually do.
Yeah, no, we take pride in, having good competition. We might not be the best or the worst or whatnot, but definitely everybody in here competes. Like I said, we've had like 12 different Super Bowl contenders in our league still running around, still fighting it out. 3/4 of the league is definitely in the playoffs, been in the playoffs, fighting it out.
Well, just take a second to let you guys know that this radio broadcast was brought to you by thegamergloves.com. Now, Recruiter, can you tell us a little bit about gamergloves.com?
Yeah, me and the Synergy and thegamergloves.com. We have a sponsorship through them, and they have nice gloves to help you hold on to the controllers, make sure that you're not slipping your hands off of there. And with this new Madden, they gave us a code of SFL 15, which is Synergy Football League, abbreviated, 15, to save 15% on there, and they really help with your hands. They help with the comfort level, and they help from sweating, so you can hold on to that paddle when you get really upset too. Not everybody gonna be winning those games.
Now, quick question: do they help with those low? You know how sometimes when you get your sores when you're playing too hard, or some users actually try to press the button too hard, press the joystick a little too much, and get those blisters on their hands. Does that prevent that as well?
Yeah, so they definitely prevent from getting blisters, and I've even seen someone say that they actually had a blister before they had the gloves, put the gloves on with a blister on their hand, and it didn't create any problems or feel the blister on their hand.
Okay, so all you listeners out there, he just told you how to do it. We're going to put it on the screen, and you're going to save 15% off your gamer gloves. Go to, where do they go if they want to get some gamer gloves again?
gamergloves.com, and it helps against moisture, helps with sweaty hands, and it maintains the blood flow. You know, sometimes when you're playing Madden for 24 hours a day, some people, your hand cramps up. It's supposed to prevent that from happening.
Okay, see, I didn't even know all that. That's good to know. I mean, a lot of these issues happen during close games, and you don't want a Super Bowl to come down to sweaty hands or a blister on your finger. I mean, that's a great tool to have. And if you have if you have these gloves, you could have the competitive advantage and don't have to worry about those issues that come up. Especially, we all know when it comes to close games, we get some people get sweaty hands, some people get hot. But when it comes to close games, not everyone's calm, and these gloves might actually work or will work to help you guys get that competitive edge.
Yeah, especially with esports getting big and all these Madden tournaments and the league crawler tournaments, it could really give you that competitive advantage where somebody's finger might slip on a button and you got that competitive advantage, and you'll be able to hit stick or make him fumble while he's over there fumbling his paddle.
That's true. Fumbling with sweaty hands. You don't want to do that. Well, thanks very much for coming on. We got, once again, Synergy Recruiter. Thanks for coming on. Simply, we appreciate you coming on, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the pleasure. Thanks for having us.
No problem. This has been Synergy Football Radio, brought to you by GamerGloves.com.
No matter what, got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up, and they stay there.